Hellblade Senua Saga, the most metal game coming to Xbox. I don't know about you, but someone who conquers their inner demons in a literal hellscape that's hell with one L because it's Vikings, and then goes on to lead a Viking tribe in Iceland fighting a giant is pretty metal. I'm probably biased, but rough music with guttural vocals that has a heavy rhythm just feeds a part of my soul that would run in mosh pits for 3 hours every other week. Hellblade Senua Saga hits those beats in every step of the trailer. I'm Richard Cthulhu, and I'm heading down to the underworld with Hellblade today. In the future, I plan to do other positive mental attitude videos, because outside it's raining dark gods who want to devour your soul. If you didn't play Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, I implore you to do so. The story, art, atmosphere, music, and performance are all top-notch for the price. If you have Xbox Game Pass, play it. You have no excuse not to. Definitely play with headphones because you miss out on Senua's choir of alternate personality voices. The schizophrenic choir that will chide her and cajole her and torment her as she progresses through her journey in the underworld on her quest to meet Hela. In Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, voice actress and performance capture done by Melina Juergens sells the hell out of Senua's confusion and despair while also punctuating her iron will to persevere against her biggest obstacle, herself. Her mental disorder causes her to hallucinate and hear voices. It also tortures her as she goes throughout her journey, seeing all sorts of phantasmagorical things, fighting Draugr, zombie Vikings. It's an incredible journey, and she fights step by step through it as this person, voicing it and acting out the entirety. The sequel shows Senua as having overcome her inner demons. She comes off as more mature and definitely driven. Once an outcast picked tribesman, now the leader of a tribe of Icelandic Norsemen. You see the changes to action immediately with just her movement and what looks like a player-controlled chase sequence that resolves to a short cutscene. For the most part, this is an engine tech demo, but I am salivating to find out if the actual gameplay evokes such frantic action. As overused as Visceral is, this action and world would appeal to an emotional core wanting a grim, dark, and terrible world to fight through and overcome. Melina Juergens' performance capture is exceptional. Her expressions are captured so well in Unreal 5. Her tone of voice, her just look at the camera is brilliant and conveys the emotion of someone driven. Her supporting cast is realistic and believable for this world. The fire effects are good, but how the spears wink out on impact leaves something to be desired. Feels they just kind of phase out of existence. The trailer ends with the giant quarry asking Senua for help, leaving us to ponder who is this giant that knows Senua. Music and sound design are very important to this game. Mainly I'm going to discuss music at this point because we've discussed the choir, because I want to, need to talk about High Lung. They're a Germanic described as neo-folk band. I think they're really metal as hell. They perform songs influenced by Northern European mythology, Jotun, Valkyries, and Hela, like a cross between Rivethead industrial sensibilities and Franciscan monks' throat singing. Their music captures the midnight of the medieval Norse fighting in the dark against an awesome and terrifying enemy, in this case led by Senua, who in the previous game was fighting a darkness in herself. Now seemingly driven to defeat the gods who she feels torment her, does her mental disorder allow her to see these cyclopean dark creatures? Is Senua a leader, a warrior, priest, or shaman, leading people to fight mythical beasts? Or is this more of a parable? The first game dealt more with Senua dealing with her grief, attempting to raise Dillion from the dead, her lover who had been killed, by taking his decapitated head to Hela to bring him back from hell. Is this tribe Senua leads a group like herself, tormented and working hard to fight their demons with her as these physical monstrosities that they perceive themselves? Is this reality for them? Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice appears to use very similar art styles to character artists such as Brahm or Frank Frazetta. Again, very grimdark, but still heroic, while many of the effects are kinetic, almost impressionistic, lending to the unreality of the world as you progress. Dark, dead reality gives way to surreal landscapes of fire and decay. Senua's Saga looks to be more gritty and realistic and brutal, sourcing realistic landscapes of Iceland through photogrammetry and satellite imagery. What does importing the real world into the virtual have in store for the fantastic in this new game? I trust the team at Ninja Theory to create the dark fantasy vistas I personally love. Looking back, Senua's Sacrifice real world imagery was used as reference, but it was mutated, changed so drastically into these foreboding landscapes, and I'm certain this will be the case again. We'll see Iceland changed into this phantasmal, awful version of reality, populated by gods and monsters. Obviously, I'm looking forward to Hellblade Senua's Saga. I love the narrative, I love the world building of the previous game, I love the voice acting and the character animation. That game appealed to me directly. I love the story of a character that's beaten but not broken, overcoming all of their obstacles, step by agonizing step. This is the kind of character I love to see. To sign off, I wanted to briefly talk about a game I played recently. It's kind of a throwback, Brothers in Arms, Hell's Highway. Now, my 2023 review is unfortunately it doesn't hold up that well, but I would say it's still worth the $5 when it's on sale. It's a tactical shooter where you play as a squad leader in the 101st Airborne Recon Detachment. This is during Operation Market Garden during World War II. Graphically, it's obviously dated, the levels are pretty flat, and sometimes the controls do have some delays as far as pulling triggers go. That being said, story is okay. I would recommend over it watching A Bridge Too Far, Sean Connery, Robert Redford, all sorts of stars. Anthony Hopkins is in it. Or it roughly takes about the same amount of time, but Band of Brothers. I would go with that over playing this game. However, that being said, still worth $5. Thank you for listening. This is Richard Cthulhu signing off. Remember, life's short. Be good. I'll swallow your soul.